Hey YouTube, I'm sure that all of y'all know what's going on with Diddy by now. He has been getting exposed over the past several months for all types of shit. Cassie exposed him months ago at the end of 2023 with a 65-page lawsuit where she exposed him for physically abusing her, sexually abusing her, drugging her, sex trafficking her, abducting her, holding her hostage, all types of shit over the 10-year span of their relationship. That nigga got with Cassie when he was like 35 or something, and she was only 19 years. She was super young, fresh out of high school, very early in her career. She had not experienced enough life to know exactly what she was getting involved in when she got with Diddy. Her brain wasn't fully developed, and this nigga gave her drugs the very first night they spent together, and that's what initiated this long 10 painful year relationship. He kept her drugged up, he kept her drunk. He sold her off to male prostitutes and recorded all those men having sex with her for his own pleasure, all types of shit that Cassie had to go through, all the physical violence. We all saw that video that came out a week ago where Diddy was beating Cassie's ass in that hallway. And didn't just do shit like this to Cassie. He did this to he was physically and sexually abusive to his the past women in his life. There are stories of him abusing Misa, of him abusing Kim Porter, breaking her nose. Rumors of him being the one who organized for other people to be unalived. There was some Asian girl who dated him. She did an interview talking about how, he whooped her ass in a club in front of everybody, like threw her on the ground and was punching her in the head. And then there was some white lady that just came out as recently as it was either today or yesterday. She came out with a lawsuit of her own, stating that Diddy forced her to perform oral sex on him in the bathroom. So this nigga is a fucking monster. He's beyond redemption. He's beyond grace. He's beyond forgiveness. This man needs to be put down. And that's the best way I can say it on this platform. He needs to be put down. I don't see a reason for him to continue breathing. He's not going to be a good role model to his children. He's not going to be a good father to his children. In fact, this nigga has influenced his sons to be exactly like him. His sons, Christian and Justin, were named in those lawsuits as well. So this nigga is not a good contributor to society, let alone all of these criminal things that he's done to these women and apparently some men as well. He has also scammed a lot of other people business wise, a lot of shady business deals where he basically stole from people, stole their publishing, stole their work, and got all the money and all the credit for it. So I see no reason for Diddy to keep breathing. There's no reason for him to remain on this earth. His kids, I feel like his kids would be better off without him. I think Quincy would be a good father figure to his sisters. And I feel like the kids would be better off without his influence in their lives. I know a lot of people are salty about not having a father in the home, but some of y'all should be grateful that y'all fathers were not in the home. I wish my father was not in the home because that nigga was a bad influence. He was abusive. He made our lives harder. And look at how Diddy is destroying the lives of his kids. Look at how he's destroying them. If you go on their Instagram pages, the twins, Chance, the boys, even under the comments on his page when he's posting the new baby, people are just like trolling those kids, basically holding them accountable for what their father did. Like, this nigga is tainting everything and everyone that he touches, everyone that's close to him. There's no reason for this nigga to be breathing. He's a menace to society. He should have never even been blessed with the lifestyle that he has anyway. It's time for him to go. All this forgiveness shit and this kumbaya and oh, who are we to judge? Bitch, I'm a human being. I'm a woman. I'm a tax-paying, law-abiding citizen. I have every right to judge this motherfucker. The fuck? I have every right to judge this motherfucker. That's why we have juries. They select people in the county to come in and sit on a jury to decide this person's fate based off of evidence. We have every right to judge these motherfuckers because they are living amongst us. they are affecting the people around us, which could in turn affect us, we have every right to judge these motherfuckers. It is what it is. Y'all more Some of y'all are more critical to the people that are judging him than to him who committed all these horrible things. And you can say there's no proof. Man, Diddy did all that shit. Diddy did all of that shit that's being alleged against him, all of that shit. This nigga released a statement in December last year talking about enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation, and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. Sean Diddy Combs. This nigga told us back in December, lied, and I knew he was lying. I didn't need to see any video footage, by the way. I didn't need to see any evidence at all. I believe everything Cassie said in that lawsuit, because I know how a lot of these men, especially black men, get down. I know how a lot of the broke men get down. Imagine what a nigga would do when he gets the money. You think I need proof to know that he did that shit? Hell no. But just last December, he was lying to everybody, talking about he didn't do anything. This video that I'm sure most of you have seen. If you haven't seen it, go look on Twitter or just Google it. He's beating Cassie's ass in this elevator. This nigga is over 6 foot, probably weighs 200 plus pounds. Cassie is small, half his size. This nigga threw her to the ground, punched her, stomped her. Bull. This shit is so triggering to me, because one thing about me, if you've seen any of my previous videos, I do not play about domestic violence. I don't. I'm tired of seeing this shit. I'm tired of hearing about this shit. And unfortunately, this shit is so common. I see a lot of broke niggas trying to use this as a moment to kind of shame elite, so-called elite and rich people. You see, don't get with no rich dude, because this how they do. Nigga, broke niggas do this shit all the time. This ain't nothing new. A lot of us watched our fathers or our stepdads do this to our mamas. I mean, we see this in our own households. What he did to Cassie ain't shit new. The only thing with Diddy is that he just has the money and the power to do it to more people than what a broke nigga could do. But please stop trying to act like this is some shit that just strictly happens in Hollywood or in the rap industry. This shit happens everywhere. Everywhere. At all income levels. In all communities, in all racial backgrounds. Violence against women and misogyny is happening everywhere. Please stop trying to turn this into this why you shouldn't care about a nigga with money because they gonna do this to you. Broke niggas do this and worse and they ain't got no money. So stop it. But see, I'm going off on a tangent because this whole Diddy situation is so overwhelming. There's so much you can talk about. Every day there's a new detail coming out, a new lawsuit coming out, and there's just so many conversations that can come from this incident. I think the biggest conversation needs to be about violence towards women, because like I said, this is not an isolated incident, and he's damn sure not the only one. I don't trust none of these niggas. None of them. None of them. Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Swizz Beatz, Kanye, hell, apparently Kendrick Lamar put hands on his woman, Drake, all these niggas. Who else is in hip hop? All the hip hop niggas, all of them. All of them. Joe Budden tried to come out and called himself condemning Diddy whole time. There's a whole fucking case of him, kicking a pregnant woman until she miscarried. Like, all of these niggas. It ain't no exceptions, bro. There are no exceptions. I know how niggas get down. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in Blackistan. You know what I'm saying? I know how niggas get down. I know how violent they are. I know how violent broke niggas are. So imagine if you give a nigga some money and the resources to get away with that shit a lot more. Because broke niggas get away with this shit too. But imagine you give a nigga money and resources. You think I'm going to think that these niggas are innocent? Hell no, it's all of them. I don't trust none of these niggas. I don't trust none of them. And this is so much bigger than hip hop and the industry and rich people. This is society in general. This fucking hatred towards women. This predatory, egregious, degenerate nature that is built within men to where they are so violent towards women and children, people that are smaller than them. Men get a certain pleasure when they beat women, when they beat children, when they violate women and children. That brings pleasure and excitement to them. And we need to really unpack how these boys are being raised and the conditionings that society places on boys and the culture that we create around boys and men and the shit that we find, the shit that we accept from men. We need to dismantle this whole system. All this patriarchy, this shit gotta go. This shit gotta go. This is so much bigger than Diddy and Cassie. This shit is a global issue right now where men just have this fucking animalistic, barbaric instinct to just beat and grape and ruin and destroy everyone that they feel is physically weaker than them. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of hearing about it. So anyway, you got, oh my God, the patriarchy is just so, not only did Diddy commit these crimes, but because he's a man, people are going to be more empathetic towards him, okay? You got people in Diddy's comments, oh, who are we to judge? I'm praying for you. It takes a lot of courage to come out and admit your wrongs. Thank you for admitting, thank you for being courageous. Thank you for doing this and that. And I'm just like, oh, and of course you got all the dumb niggas talking about, oh, they trying to take down a black man legacy and they trying to ruin a black man and they just don't want a black man to be successful. Child. But when you look at comments under Megan Thee Stallion's videos, a woman who was shot, where were these prayers for her? Where was all this grace for her? Where was all of this? Who are we to judge? Y'all was bashing that girl for supposedly being a drunk. Never mind the fact that she lost her mother and her grandmother. She lost two people that she loved the most and she was grieving and she was using alcohol to deal with that. And instead of y'all being empathetic towards her and instead of y'all, praying for her and hoping that she got better and telling other people not to judge, instead of y'all doing that for her, y'all were dragging Megan. Y'all were wishing bad on Megan. Y'all were wishing more violence on Megan. Y'all laughed at Megan for being assaulted by that nigga. And because of what? Because you wanted to protect that nigga who shot her. Y'all know damn well Tory Lanez shot her. Y'all know damn well he did that. And in your psyche, instead of holding him accountable, you mad at her because he went to jail for committing a crime. But that's how it is in Blackistan. That's how it is in general. But especially in Blackistan, there is more hate towards the victim than there is the fucking criminal. In Blackistan, there's this fucking rule, snitches get stitches. You are seen as a worse person for calling the police on a criminal than being the person who actually committed the crime. I never got with that shit. Even as a little girl, I knew that shit didn't make sense. In Blackistan, you are trained and conditioned to protect the black man, no matter how degenerate, violent, and traitorous he is. Like, even, who else can I use an example? Y'all tore Megan to shreds. I didn't see none, and from the black women as well, from all the male identified, pick me ass bitches. I didn't see none of y'all talk about some, oh, we can't judge her. We can't, who are we to judge? Y'all even putting that shit under Diddy's post. He without seeing cast the first stone. And Megan was the fucking victim. She was the one that got shot. And y'all was dragging her because that nigga was being held accountable for shooting her. Where was the don't judge and all this other shit? Where was all these fucking paragraph long prayers at? Same thing. I don't mean to bring her into this, but Beyonce released a video of her washing her fucking hair, child. All y'all was in the comments just being nasty towards her. Being nasty towards her. Where was the, oh, we can't judge, and oh, who are we to judge, and it's not my place, and I wasn't, it's just the energy y'all have towards women is so different. But for a man, like, you got men out here who have been exposed for being abusive, like physically violent towards women. Chris Brown, Trey Songz, Diddy, Rick Ross got a whole song talking about put a Molly in her drink and then enjoy, and then take her home and enjoy that. He got a whole song like that, and y'all ain't in his comments trolling him. But a woman, when it comes to women, period, it's not even just black women. Y'all do this to women, period. It's like there's this hatred towards women. Like, it's just weird. Like, a man can literally be exposed for being a rapist and a pedophile and a physical abuser, and y'all under his comments talking about, oh, I forgive you, I believe that you're sorry, I believe that you changed, I believe that you repented. But a woman can be on her video washing her fucking hair, and you in the comments hating and being nasty and mean. Or a woman who got shot, y'all in her comments mad at her, not because she got shot, but because the dude who shot her got held accountable for it. I don't understand this fucking logic. So anyway, Kelly Price, I know a lot of y'all probably don't know who she is. She's a singer. Apparently she's a Christian. She wrote this whole paragraph long ass statement under Diddy's post. And people were dragging her on social media saying that she's victim blaming, she's being an abuse apologist, like she's coddling him. Now, if you actually read this statement that she made towards Diddy in his comment section, honestly, I didn't think it was that bad what she said. I didn't really see her coddling him too much. Now, she did compliment him, talking about he's talented, and I've seen you at your best, and I wasn't feeling that shit, because this is not the time to coddle this nigga. This is not the time to give this nigga any type of compliments. This is not the time to give this nigga any type of affirmations. He needs to be told that he is the piece of shit dirt that he is, so that he can hopefully take himself up out of here and turn himself into maggot food. Because there's no reason for this nigga to be breathing. I feel like he should just take a forever dirt nap. Like, there's no reason to keep this nigga breathing. So I don't believe he deserves any type of compliments or anything to help his self-esteem or anything to try to help heal him. He's beyond that. He's a fucking demon. And I don't even believe in demons, but he's fucking evil. He's been doing this forever. He's been doing this forever. This was not some isolated incident. This was not some temporary period of his life. Talk about, oh, I was in a dark place. Nigga, you've been doing this to women your whole fucking life. This is who you are. This is who you want to be. Ain't no, oh, you're talented and I believe you can change. You just gotta repent. No. He gotta go. He gotta go. He's a menace to society. He is here on this earth to destroy. He got with Cassie when she was 19 years old. And the moment he got with her, he gave her drugs. So what does that tell you his intentions were with her? He was with her. He never married her. He never had a family with her. He got with her just to simply pimp her out to other men and to use her like an object. And to beat on her, use her as his own personal punching bag. He got with Cassie for the simple purpose of destroying her. What did he do for her? He didn't start no family with her. He at least gave the Asian lady a baby. He didn't even do that with Cassie. And I think I'm so grateful Cassie didn't have any children with him. And maybe, she couldn't have kids because he was always pumping drugs into her. But he got with that girl for the simple purpose of destroying her. When you get with somebody who is half your age, and the first night y'all spend together, you give them drugs, and then from then on, you continuously give them drugs, knowing that they have a career that they want to pursue, and they have hopes, and they have dreams, and they have goals. And not only are you giving them drugs, you're graping them, you're selling her to other men for them to grape her so that you can watch and get pleasure off of seeing her being trafficked and used up by other men. That nigga never loved Cassie. He hates Cassie. And I can imagine how much he hates her now after she done exposed him. Anyway, back to Kelly Price. So, she's a Christian. So she was under his comments, talking about you're talented and I've seen the best of you and you can actually change, but you got to take your prayers seriously. And do you know who God is and all this other bullshit? So of course she got drugged on social media. People were dragging her for coddling him, for showing empathy to him, but none to Cassie. And then she came back on social media. Apparently she did a live where she was saying that she wasn't really making excuses for what he did. She wasn't coddling him. She don't agree with what he did. She actually hates what he did. But she said that she's not Jesus. She's not God. It's not her place to tell him whether he's healed or not. And she said her comment was more so like a warning to him. Screenshot it and read it. She said this was more so like a warning to him to change his ways. My thing is this. I can't fucking stand Christians. I can't stand Christians. I can't stand male-centered religions in general. If you are worshiping, if you are practicing a religion and the God that you serve is male, if you refer to your God as a he, a him, or a father, it's an automatic no for me. It's an automatic no for me. When Christians speak, I need y'all to listen. And it wasn't just Kelly Price, because like I said, hers wasn't that bad, but there are people under Diddy's comment section, these fucking Christians quoting scriptures talking about, I'm not gonna judge you and I forgive you, even though he's not even fucking apologizing to you, bitch. He didn't do this shit to you. Who are you to forgive him? But in the comments talk about, he without sin cast the first stone, and I believe that you really repented and God still loves you, and who are we to judge? God still loves him. You notice with Christians and Abrahamic religions in general, like, these motherfuckers are always comforting the fucking abuser. I saw a video, and there are millions like it. I saw a video of this white man. He went into a church and he exposed the pastor as he was speaking to the church for raping him when he was a little boy. Do you know that the people in that church, men and women, all rallied behind that pastor to protect the pastor as this young man was exposing the pastor for raping him? There was another video of another church where a woman interrupted the pastor and said that he raped her in the basement recently, and all the people in the church condemned her and was protecting the pastor. Like, do y'all not see this theme with these fucking churches? And don't even get me started on the Catholic Church and all their priests being exposed for being pedophiles. Like, they love touching on little boys and little girls, like all these Catholic priests. And please don't get me started on these Christian communities, especially like in those deserted areas where, there's not a lot of other civilization around. These Christian communities where these pastors and these so-called prophets are marrying children and graping children, little girls as young as 10 fucking years old. They're marrying little girls as young as 10, 11, 12, 14 years old and getting them pregnant. Do y'all notice a theme with these fucking Christians and these Abrahamic religions in general? I truly believe that these religions are strictly made to give men access to little girls and little boys to have sex with them. That's all that is. If y'all, go look at what the fucking Republicans are doing. The Republicans are pushing this Christian nationalism type of government where they're trying to base our laws off of Christian values. And in those Christian values, of course, they believe that the man is supposed to be the head of the household and the woman's job is to just strictly be a wife and a mother. Like, no identity for the woman, no career for the woman, no hobbies for the woman. They believe a woman's entire purpose is to get married and have kids. And a lot of these red states, a lot of these Republican states that vote Republican, go look up child marriages in their states. Go look up the minimum age to be able to get married. Child marriage is legal in over 40 states in the United States. And the states that don't have any minimum requirement, meaning that when you look up the minimum age to be able to get married, some of these states say 0. Why in the fuck would a male pass a law that gives a grown man the legal right to marry a child, someone as young as 10 and 11 years old? You have Republican lawmakers in these Republican states trying to protect, because the Democrats, and I'm not saying I'm a Democrat, I've considered myself in the middle, but you have to ask yourself, why are these Republican lawmakers denying bills that are being proposed by the Democrats to make child marriage illegal? Democrats are trying to make child marriage illegal, but these Republican Christian nationalists are striking down these laws. They want to keep the child marriage laws in place to where you can still marry a child as long as the parent agrees. And of course, these parents are Christians, and their religion teaches them that a girl's place is to be a wife and a mother. That if she can menstruate, then she's a woman and she's ready to be married off. Some girls get their periods as young as 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old. And they are selling their daughters and marrying their daughters off to these grown-ass men. And these grown-ass Christian men are graping these young girls. These girls' lives are ruined. No 10, 12, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old really wants to be married. Not to no grown-ass man. Absolutely not. And what's even sicker is that they will make it legal for these grown men to marry these children, but they won't make it legal for these children to get a divorce if they want a divorce. So let me get this straight. They're old enough at 10 and 11 years old to be married, but they're not old enough at 10 or 11 years old to get a divorce. They're not old enough to vote. They're not old enough to, they're not old enough to own any property or to do anything that any other adult can do. But you decided that they're old enough to get married to a grown fucking man. Why would a man, you got to ask yourself, why are the Republicans passing these fucking laws? How do you justify that other than to legalize pedophilia? And again, these Republicans are pushing Christian nationalist viewpoints, because a lot of these Republicans are Christian nationalists. The Christians, and I'm telling you, all this shit ties in to what Kelly Price got going on and all these fucking Christians in Diddy's comments. Christianity and Abrahamic religions in general are all patriarchal religions. It was all designed to give men power and to give men access to little girls, little boys, and women in general. To give men ultimate access and power over women, girls, and little boys for their own sexual pleasure. Fuck all that, oh, it's about strengthening community and building the best economy. That's a part of it, but it's all at the woman and the child's expense. The men benefit while the women and the children suffer. That is the whole point behind these Abrahamic religions, these Christians, these Muslims, these Catholics. I think Christians are the worst of the worst. The Christians are the most violent. They're the most murderous. They've committed the most genocide. They're the most bigoted. They're the most racist. They're the most sexist. They're the most xenophobic. I don't give a fuck what you read in Bible study. If they're telling you, oh, Jesus loves you, that's a fucking lie. That community is full of hate and pedophilia. Y'all, go watch the documentaries of these fucking Christian cults all over the United States. These pastors and these so-called prophets out here got 14 wives and half of them are fucking kids. 14 and younger. And you're telling me some 14-year-old girl really wanted to marry some 50-year-old man? You're telling me that's what that little girl wanted? Y'all, we got to let this religion go. We got to open our eyes, especially if you're a woman. You got to open your eyes and stop just listening to what people say. Look at what they're doing. Look at the people that they defend. Look at the people that they give grace to. Look at the laws that they vote for. Look at the laws that they vote against. Look at who these Christians are rallying behind. You don't see these motherfuckers in Cassie's comments talking about I'm gonna pray for you and leaving paragraph long comments talking about I'm gonna pray for you and I'm gonna give you grace and I forgive you and we can't judge you. You don't see them doing that for Cassie, but you see them on the predator side praying for him and giving him grace and forgiving him. Why do the Christians always protect and give grace to the fucking predators? Think about that. Why are these Republican Christian nationalists passing laws that allow grown men to marry young children? Why are they passing laws? Why are they trying to stop laws that are trying to ban child marriage? Why are they really trying to get rid of abortion? It ain't because they love families and they're trying to protect children. If they wanted to protect children, they would end these child marriage laws. They would stop turning down laws that are trying to pass tax credits and programs and resources that would help these children once they're born. See, they don't give a fuck about these children. What they want is they want children to be born so that women are stuck in the home or stuck at these dead-end jobs where they can't really advance and move around. They want women to be stagnant, number one. Number two, they need a workforce for the future. They need taxpayers. They need soldiers. Number three, they need to fulfill their pedophilic fantasies. That's why they want these children to be born. It has nothing to do with family, community, and love of children, protecting of children. They are pedophiles. The Republicans, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of Democratic pedophiles as well. But look at the laws that they're passing. Look at the laws that the Republicans are passing. Look at the laws that the Democrats are passing. Republicans are the ones passing laws and upholding laws that are protecting child marriage. Hell, it was in my own state in Ohio where a little girl at 10 years old had to leave the state to go get an abortion because my Republican lawmakers made it illegal for her to abort her rapist baby. They wanted that 10-year-old girl to give birth to a baby at 10 years old. What kind of sick pedophile what kind of sick pedophile would defend a 10-year-old giving birth? Like, I know this video is all over the place, but this situation with Diddy and Cassie, it can just spark so many different conversations because of people's reactions to it and because of the overall situation of it, which is violence against women and violence against, young women and children, and how these men are grooming children, how these men are grooming their sons to be just like them. And another thing, Diddy, I hate this man so much, but I saw this video of Diddy talking about how he's schooling his daughters, how he's teaching his daughters about men, and how he's going to help his daughters choose better with men. And my thing is this, nigga. Your daughters cannot choose better if you do not do better. Because while you're teaching your daughters to quote unquote choose better, you're teaching your sons to be just like you. So if the boys are being raised to be like you, and the girls are being raised to choose better, but the boys are not being raised to do better, how is your daughter going to choose better? How? If you are perpetuating the behavior that you don't want your daughter to deal with from a man, how is she going to be able to choose better if you are contributing to the very problem and setting that example for your sons to follow? Because he was in another interview right in front of his 16-year-old son, who was 16 at the time, talking about how he treats women and how women are going to have to deal with 25% of his bullshit. Mind y'all, 25% of Diddy's bullshit involves getting your ass beat, involves being drugged, involves being sex trafficked. That's what Diddy's 25% is. And he said all that in front of his son. He said in front of his son that it's acceptable for him to be good only 75% of the time. 25% of the time you have to put up with his bullshit. And Diddy's bullshit is a lot of bullshit. And he said this in front of his son and was laughing. And this is basically what he's teaching his son. This is how he's teaching his son how to treat women. And of course, we know that that's how he treats his son, how to teach women, because again, his sons, Justin and Christian, are named in those lawsuits. So again, Diddy, how can your daughters choose better if you are not teaching the boys to do better? If you yourself is not doing better? At some point, niggas, y'all are going to have to put some type of accountability and responsibility on the men. Women cannot choose better, and your daughters cannot choose better if you guys are not raising boys to do better. If you yourself are not doing better. Fuck all that do as I say and not as I do. If you cannot do as you say, you are contributing to the problem. And you are not protecting your daughters. Your daughters cannot choose better if you continue to be the piece of shit that you don't want her to deal with. If you are the type of man that you do not want your daughters to date, your daughters cannot choose better. First of all, I am 100% sure that all of his kids, except maybe the baby, have witnessed this nigga put his hands on women. Because we witnessed our daddies put their hands on our mamas. We've witnessed men in society put their hands on women in public. So you mean to tell me his daughters and his sons haven't seen him beat Cassie's ass or even their own mom's ass? They have. They've seen it. But you see how they rally behind Diddy? It's because of his conditioning of them. It's because of how he's raising them. Yes, daddy beats my mom. Yes, daddy does these horrible things, but he's my dad. I have to love him regardless. I have to be loyal to him regardless. So even though you tell your daughters to choose better, your daughters are still going to end up with niggas like you, because regardless of what you say, through your actions, that is what you're actually teaching them. And that's what you're actually preparing them for. You are preparing your daughters for a nigga just like you. Because instead of doing better, you chose to just tell your daughters to choose better. Your daughters cannot choose better if you do not do better. And if you're not teaching your sons to do better, your daughters can't choose better. I'm curious, niggas. How do y'all expect there to be just a whole bunch of virgins walking around if all of y'all are expecting to have sex with women on the first date? Like, that's all y'all do. All niggas, all of y'all. Y'all be wanting pussy on the first date. And if she gives it to you, she's a hoe, she's this, she's that. And if she don't give it to you, oh, she's a prude, she's not worth the time, oh, she's a gold digger. Which one is it? How do y'all expect for there to be so many virgins walking around if y'all want sex with every fucking woman you come in contact with? If y'all are not teaching y'all sons sexual discipline and to be virgins themselves. Like, how do you teach your daughters to be virgins, but then you're teaching your son to have sex? How is that going to work? Who's your son going to be having sex with? If you're teaching your son to have sex and you're teaching your daughters to be virgins, who is your son's going to have sex with? That's why I'm saying you cannot teach your daughters to choose better if you're not teaching your sons to do better. And if you're not leading by an example, you're not teaching your kids shit, because your kids are going to watch what you do. I'm just disgusted with this whole situation. More is going to come out, and I believe more people are going to be exposed. And fuck it. If some of our faves, if it turns out, now first of all, none of these niggas are my faves. None of these rappers. I don't like rap, period. I know all these men in the industries are full of shit, because I know men in general are full of shit, especially black men. So I was never a fan of any of these niggas. But some of our faves are married to these niggas. And shit, if they husband go down, it is what it is. It is what it is. If you gonna stick beside your man when he goes down, baby, that's on you. Baby, that's on you. If you're gonna stick by a man after everything that you've built, building your own legacy, building your own career, building your own businesses, you got kids that you're trying to pass down generational wealth to, this man can destroy all of that, especially if you stick beside him. So if you choose to stick beside him when he goes down, baby, that's on you. I'm gonna be sad for you, but I can't internalize what's happening to you because I'm not about to be stressed out over what another bitch going through. So, all y'all ride or dies out there, let me explain something to you. A man who truly loves you is not gonna make dying an option for you. He's not gonna make dying an option for you. A man who truly loves you wants you to live a good life. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to be successful. He don't want you to go down just because he's going down. If he expects you to go down with him based off of shit that he did, that man never loved you. He's just trying to have somebody with him when he goes down. And everything that you've built, everything that you've created, everything that you work so hard for, you're going to lose it in an instant if you choose to stick by that nigga. So, this is just for all the women in the industry. If you got a man, Alicia Keys, Beyonce, DJ Khaled's wife, all y'all women, and y'all got these husbands who are attached to Diddy. If some shit come out about them and y'all choose to stick beside these niggas, just know he's going to destroy everything that you built. And you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? That's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave it at that.